In Tangier, when we took the train to Casablanca.
You were, okay, that was the part I was like, Layne, calm down.
No, see, like, this was the part where I was like, no, this is not okay.
Okay, so
me being paranoid, I was like, oh my God, that guy's staring at us. Like, he's sizing us up. He has a nice watch on, and he's on his phone, and he's speaking, and I was just like, oh my God, we're going to get kidnapped
I remember the guys were trying to, like, talk to us.
Welcome to All Over the Place. I'm your host, LAYNE FABLE, and today we have a very special guest. She's a fashion student at FIT, just started her own YouTube channel, and she's my best friend, Alyssa Poplaski.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Okay, so I'm still figuring out all of the podcasting, setup and sound. So if anything is a little bit off, I'm very sorry, but we're working with it. Where to start? There is so much. We just caught up for about 2-3 hours.
For so long.
Alyssa and I are best friends. She's absolutely one of my best friends, and we don't see each other that often, but when we're together, it's one of those things where we just pick right back up where we left off. So we just caught up, and I think the one thing that we always end up talking about and get most excited about is traveling.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've gone on some of the best trips together. So maybe we'll jump off on that point.
Yeah, definitely.
What was it? 2017? Did we go to Thailand?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, so Thailand in 2017. I remember I had never been far. I had been to Cancun, I had been to Canada, a few little places, Aruba, but nothing crazy international-wise. And my parents had this timeshare our entire lives for Aruba, but I don't know if they didn't tell us that you could transfer to other places or whatnot, but I figured out, my dad showed me the website, and I just started browsing one day, and I don't even know how I stumbled upon, actually, yes, I do remember, I was really wanted to go to Hawaii at the time, and I was looking to book,
Hawaii.
I know, I was really looking to book a trip there, and it was one of the most requested destinations on, I guess, the timeshare, so it sold out immediately, and I couldn't find any dates that worked with when I wanted to go. So I remember randomly Thailand came up, and I was like, that seems,
this is cool.
Yeah. I don't know. And I think I just picked my family members' brains that had traveled a little bit, and my one aunt was like, go to Thailand. You're going to be so culturally shocked.
And at that time, I remember in 2017, it was 2017, right?
No, it was.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God. That was so long ago.
I know.
Anyways, that was the place people were going. But I remember when you were like, Layne, you want to come to Thailand? And I was just like, yes. And it was at the height of me catching the travel bug. I had just booked, I think, the Philippines. I had that to look forward to.
But you hadn't been there yet, right?
No, I hadn't, because I remember thinking, how dumb is it that I'm going to book a round-trip flight to the Philippines and back and then book Thailand with you guys when I could have just stayed on that side of the world and, booked an in-between flight. And everyone was like, what are you doing? But I was also like, I want to come home. I want to see the dogs. I want to see Kev.
Yeah.
And I think not Easter. Mother's Day was in between. Oh, no, we missed Mother's Day. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, that was bad. That was my fault. Sorry. Moms.
I remember in the vlog, we were like, sorry, moms. And we went with a big group of girls.
That was awesome. So it was 3 of my coworkers and my sister, and then you and I.
I remember the juxtaposition of having myself to fly with and then having you guys to go to the airport with and hang out in the gate, and then we were on the plane together eating crazy whatever food. It was so much more fun when you have those shared experiences versus, but although now I love traveling alone just as much.
But I still need to do that. I haven't done a serious solo trip.
Yeah, that's true.
I will one day.
Okay, let's be real. I haven't done a serious solo trip either. I met Aileen there.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Still.
I bounce around alone, but I always end up meeting up with someone I know in the foreign country.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll do that one day.
I vlogged all of Thailand. If you want to go back and look at that, we were babies.
Oh my God. I love looking back on those videos, all the things we did. I remember too, I don't know about you, I feel like we were a little bit nervous at the time because just being in such a faraway place from home, for the first time and not knowing, we were definitely, would you say?
I would say, okay, so I just came back from the Philippines, so I had the first taste of another country, and I was like, wow, okay, that's kind of what it's like. But I remember how excited you guys were. And we also did it differently. We were at a resort.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
for
like,
sure.
Looking back and knowing what we know now, we just, our last trip together was Morocco. So we did that very different. Like, if you compare Thailand to Morocco.
Oh, yeah, because that was also, it was nice, like, seeing our trips as we've gone, like, year to year. Thailand, we did it so reserved, stayed in one place. Like, we were at, like, a
very
5-star
conservative.
Marriott resort in Phuket.
Yeah, we were like, well, we don't want to get trafficked and we don't want to get kidnapped and we just want to be safe.
Yeah.
And our parents were nervous. But I think as they saw us, like, go more places, they were like, okay, good luck.
And of course, it's always good to have your guard up. But I remember we were going to the elephant sanctuary, and it was a longer ride, and it was on the back of, like, a sketchy truck, and I was like, this is it.
I remember that morning, and it was downpouring, and we were like, this is how it ends. We were like, this is what the story starts as.
Oh, my God.
And then it ended up being one of the best days of the trip.
The best day of the trip, like, but playing with elephants.
For sure, we thought we were getting, you know, a little kidnapped.
But yeah, that just, I mean, that was our first, for me anyway, the first time it was like spread your wings and just
like go.
Go.
The one thing that we did completely right in Thailand was going to JJ's.
Oh my God, the food.
I miss that food daily.
Oh my God, do you want to explain what it is?
Oh
my God. Ahead. So we were coming back from an excursion one day, and we were in a truck with a bunch of people at our hotel. And they casually were like, oh, we're going back to JJ's tonight. Have you guys been to JJ's? And we were like, no, what's that? And they were like, oh my God, like, you need to go to JJ's. And they explained how it was one of Marriott's old chefs, I guess, lived in the neighborhood, and he ended up quitting, and he started at his own house. Him and his wife would cook for anyone, locals, tourists, and you would literally just go to their house and eat.
They have this like patio set up. And it was the best Thai food we had there.
The most delicious, authentic Thai food.
I have to throw a few people under the bus that we were on that trip with. We ate pizza and American, like, quote, American food so much.
Because it was quick and convenient, though.
Yeah, but I remember even my dad was like, Layne, like, what are you doing? You fly to the other side of the world and you're eating pizza.
I know.
And I was like, touche.
Well, that was when we were at the pool. That was like the first day.
Yeah.
So
then we found JJ's, and I was like, okay, this is. We never got to the street food because we weren't in Bangkok. Yeah. But we'll just have to go back.
Phuket didn't have as. I mean, I could be wrong. We didn't go into the town as much. Like
we really stayed where we were.
We stayed, but that was
it was
fun.
Great.
Oh my God.
For what it was, for a little like kickstart, jump starter, first international trip with a big group of girls. I think it went really well.
We had so much fun on that trip.
So many good memories.
And that just started the travel bug.
Absolutely. And so then from there.
So from there, I had, even before our Thailand trip, I had been stalking the EF Ultimate Breaks website for, oh my God.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
That was how it happened.
That was the next one.
One of my old college roommates did a trip with them a while ago. So I had been on the website, and I would just be like, let me just look. So I would always look, and I'd be like, oh, this would be great. Oh, this would be great. And like, look at how long the trips were. So.
And if you don't know what EF Ultimate Break is, it's a company that I would call them like a travel agency. And it's really great if you want to travel alone as well. They book the flights for you, the transfers, the itinerary, everything is planned out. You have a tour guide from the country. So while we were looking at it, because we couldn't get a big group together again, and we still were a little bit weary about like, oh, let's just the two of us fly to Peru and go do our thing.
Yeah.
This was the perfect like next step. So if you are nervous, if you're someone who's never been out of the country, this is another option that you can even do it alone because you end up making so many friends.
There were so many solo travelers on our trip to Peru.
I still talk to so many.
They're awesome.
Mainly like Jose. We talk about food.
We had the best people on our trip.
We lucked out. Knock on wood. I've heard some horror stories. Like I've heard some of the girls that were on that trip had gone on other ones, and they were like, no, this is the calmest, like chillest group.
Yeah. So then that trip, I don't know, I think I had just always wanted to go to Machu Picchu, and I think I reached out to you, and of course I knew it would be like a quick, like, let me think about it, yes, from you.
I remember the day you told me. I was at work, I was sitting at my desk, and I get a text from Liz, and she's like, hey, you want to go to Peru? And I was like, yeah. And she sent me the link, and right then and there, I think we booked it. And they do a payment plan.
It was the best. I remember sitting in class and, like, kind of, like, starting another web browser and, like, doing single payments every once in a while. And
it was like, so great. The one thing I have to say, money, like, yes, it comes and goes. And you should save, but I have never regretted seeing a chunk of money leave for a flight, for a trip, for a down payment, for anything like for experiences like that.
Like, this is the selfish time of our lives, so I just feel like same exact thing. Do it
while you can.
Yeah.
And learn. I think that traveling has made us better people.
Oh, yeah.
Just overall.
And I also forgot about this, but my mom's side of the family is so large. I have a chunk of people on my mom's side that had lived on the other side of the world, traveled on the other side of the world. Like, my uncle lived in Morocco, lived in Germany, lived, like, all over.
Goals.
I still have a cousin who's in South Korea.
Wait, let's go visit them in Seoul.
I know, right? I don't know what area, but he still
I've
lives
heard
there.
Seoul parties pretty hard.
Yeah, so I think just from that, and then his mother, my aunt, who lives in Korea, she had been all over that part of Asia. She was the one that said, go to Thailand. Yeah. She was like, I loved Israel. I loved Thailand. She just said it would be the most, like, culturally shocking for someone who hasn't been there before.
And that was your first time in Asia. That was my second time.
Yeah.
And I still feel like I need to go back.
I want to go back so bad.
I want to go to, I think, okay, now that we're sitting here and we're talking, I have a feeling we're going to end up booking another trip, although you already have one booked for this year.
Yeah.
Which I might just hop on.
Please
we'll
come.
See.
Otherwise, I'm going by myself.
But I definitely want to go to Tokyo.
I want to go too.
Oh, I think
and
Tokyo.
Vietnam. I don't know why.
See, Vietnam.
I've heard from multiple people that it's just like one of the coolest places once you get there. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll think about it.
Yeah. I'm so partial to the Philippines because of Alyne, and I want to go see her again. And Vietnam's like right there, and I'm like, but Philippines has that blue water too. No, but you're right. And I think, oh God, there's just not enough time.
Wait, let's recap on Peru.
Okay, yeah, sorry. This is why I need... See, my guest is better at hosting than I am.
No.
Oh, yes.
We had such good times there. I'm trying to think. It was so much.
I remember us freaking out and being like, oh my God, we're going to get there. And we had to share a room. Mm-hmm. And we were like, what if this girl's crazy? Because I have had bad experiences with roommates in college before, like from... I've never even said this before, but just from like, you know, like someone that was like a little crazy to someone who would like take used, ew, this is gross. Close your ears if you don't want to listen to this. Take used like pads and stick them on the bathroom door.
Disgusting.
Literally, and I was just like, we're going to travel across the world and be stuck with some girl in a room. And then she ended up being the coolest girl.
Lindsay.
I miss Lindsay so much.
Oh my God. Wait, so we started that trip in Lima, which was cool.
Yeah.
Touching down. The gray city. And then it was just super colorful. And
I miss the food in Lima.
Yeah, the ceviche was so good.
Literally everything I think we had there. The sushi place we went to.
Yeah.
It was crazy good.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
The name.
I don't remember either.
So
but
then
it was really
from
good.
Lima, we went to Cusco, right?
Cusco,
that was the next. We flew into Cusco. And let me tell you, the flight there with the turbulence. Listen, I used to be scared of flying. Once I started traveling a lot, I fell in love with it. But the people on that flight were screaming, audibly screaming, like,
I forgot.
And they were like, oh my God, we're going to die. Or like, they would just be like, oh my God. And I was like, why? I don't freak out unless everyone's freaking out like that. And I don't
remember even reacting on that flight.
Out.
I probably was
like,
sleeping.
You're sleeping. You were like really calm sleeping.
God.
But I was awake and I was listening to music and I heard someone scream, oh my God. And I was like, what happened? Like, something happened on the plane. And it was just because the plane was going like this.
I was going to say, and that was such I think I had the whole aisle to myself.
Oh, okay.
On that
So you were
flight.
good. Yeah, I had people next to me and they were screaming. But there is turbulence when you fly into the mountain range. But other than that, I think flying into Cusco was one of the most exciting flights I've ever...
Do you remember touching down? I was like, my jaw just dropped. It was so beautiful. It felt like
in between this valley.
Yes, like you literally were just like surrounded by mountains, and in the middle was this cute little, not a little city, it was a city.
It was a city.
It was a city.
With the most beautiful architecture, the most beautiful history.
Yeah.
I just remember us walking around and being like, where are we?
And the most perfect weather. Do you remember that?
It was perfection. We went in
May. Yeah.
I think we went in May, and I don't think there was a better time to go.
Blue skies, little bit of clouds, just like felt like
sunny.
Spring-ish. Like it was really nice.
You said blue skies, that's sunny. I just realized that.
Same thing, whatever.
I was just thinking about it, like the way the sun hits your face there because you're such high altitude, it's such a different feeling. Like you feel it.
Oh my God, yeah. And then wait, the altitude. So I remember
I was nervous.
Everyone's like, oh, altitude sickness, and Cusco was fine for me.
Cusco was fine.
I remember slightly if we would like walk up, it was very hilly.
We'd be walking up an incline
I can
and be
feel
like,
it now.
all right.
but nothing severe where it's like, I
No.
know hotels have oxygen and things like that, but we didn't need that at all.
I felt good in
Yeah.
Cusco.
And then you remember we did Rainbow Mountain?
Yes. Okay. Now, Rainbow Mountain, I have to say, that video has been popping off on YouTube. People search about Rainbow Mountain a lot,
I would.
guess.
It's beautiful.
So, and I put the truth about Rainbow Mountain because, well, I'm realizing my truth was way different than your truth.
My truth was so different.
So we're going, and we felt fine in Cusco. So we're like, we're going to be fine. We're like, we're athletic. We work out, and we both like, we like crazy workouts. Alyssa and I like to work out to the point where we're like on the borderline of throwing up. And we like take pride in that. So when we go, we're like, we got this. And we get there, not only do you wake up at 5 a.m. and it's frigid, you get there and you have this like little breakfast. It's like a buttered roll and whatever.
Yeah.
And then people are like selling gloves and hats, and you realize just how cold it's about to be. And I think we were way underpacked.
We were underpacked for Peru for Rainbow Mountain, but that morning I think we bundled up pretty well considering we didn't have
Anything.
coats or
I
anything.
threw every layer
I remember
packed on.
I think I had like 2 leggings on and a pair of jeans and then sweatshirt, denim jacket.
Yeah.
Whatever we had.
I put like
And then
every tight shirt on and then every like sweatshirt.
I think you bought me a beanie or gloves or something when we got there because we didn't have it.
yeah,
Like,
we were just like, we need this.
so they were smart.
But I will say, like, you need layers. If you want to do Rainbow Mountain, layers. Because once you start hiking, it gets a little toasty. And also, once you start hiking, you tell your story.
Well, I was going to say just before the part where I died almost. Not actually, but it was a struggle. The ride over, do you remember how beautiful the ride was to Rainbow Mountain?
It was crazy with the sunrise.
I felt like it was a freaking fairy tale. Like, it was like the streams and, like, it looked like, for me, it felt like Snow White.
It seems surreal.
The greenery
but everything's
and the
untouched.
mountains.
Everything is fully untouched there. I almost, and you could disagree with me on this, I felt more spiritually, like, it was a more spiritual journey in Rainbow Mountain than Machu Picchu.
Okay.
Because Machu Picchu was so touristy. Because I just remember Rainbow Mountain. Also, I love hiking, and we did a tough hike at Rainbow Mountain.
Yeah.
Like, that was a feat to do what we did.
Yeah, so my experience of Rainbow Mountain, we got there, and before it even started inclining, okay, so Cusco, what is it, 10 to 12,000 above sea level?
I should look that up.
And then I don't know what Rainbow Mountains, the bottom of the mountain starts at, but the top is 17,000 above sea level. It was a very large spike up is all I remember. So
17,060.
yeah, but then what's Cusco? I think it's like 10 to 12-ish
So yeah, Rainbow Mountain, 17,060 feet.
above sea
And
level.
Cusco elevation's 11,000.
So I was
152.
completely fine in Cusco, but as soon as we got to the Rainbow Mountain,
That extra 6,000 feet.
oh my God, it was, okay, so before we even got to the part where there was an incline, I remember we would walk like a couple hundred feet and I would be like, and I really could not breathe. And it got to the point where it's like, I think I unbuttoned my jeans. Like, I really could not breathe. And it was like every couple steps I felt so bad because I was holding our group back. But
yeah, we were all struggling for sure, but I remember once it really started inclining, like, and I know you, so like
Yeah.
I knew when the look on your face, I was like, this isn't just like you're uncomfortable. I was like, this is getting to a point where I was like, I don't know if she's gonna want to keep going.
yeah, like
And the other crazy thing is the tour we booked, there's no guide with you as you go
oh my
up.
God, they pretended like there was going to be a guide and our guide disappeared.
It just like vanished.
Literally.
I don't like this. I was
No,
like,
no.
I feel like I'm just left alone on a mountain because that's exactly what it was.
No, that's what happened. He's like, here's the bottom, see you up top, and
They're
if
like,
you don't
be
get
back in 2 hours.
No,
we're
actually.
leaving. And I was like, what do you mean? I don't know what time.
And listen, there was no way to get lost as long as you stayed on.
you kind of just go up and down.
You go right up and right down, but the struggle of getting up and down for me was unbelievable. And I don't know why I did not want to get, they have, were they ponies, horses?
Yeah, they had horses that you could ride.
They had
up.
horses that the locals who were used to the altitude, these people were twice my age and running
Incredible.
up and down the mountain like it was nothing. And I couldn't walk up the mountain. That's how bad the altitude sickness got to me. And yeah, like you said, like we were in shape, like there was nothing wrong. Like, and I'd been through 2 college soccer preseasons before.
She was a freaking like collegiate athlete.
And I literally was struggling so hard. And I eventually made it with the help of you guys. I remember Alex like grabbed me. He ran back
Oh,
down.
I miss Alex.
Yeah, he ran back down, grabbed me, and like helped me up the last little part of the mountain, and I felt like I was dying.
The last part gets steeper than you would ever expect also. And that was another thing. Like, we researched it, but I'm very, like, I don't want to know what I'm doing. I don't want to know too much about where I'm going until I'm there. So I didn't research it too much. So it was constantly a surprise.
It was beautiful, and I don't regret it at all. I just would never, ever do it again.
Really? You would never? Oh, I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Never. I wish I, like, could experience that with also, like, my family and stuff, and I would want them to see it, but I also think of my parents, and I'm like, they would actually have heart attacks,
Like,
God forbid, on the side of the mountain.
No, it was definitely, it is a taxing, it's taxing.
You hustled, though. You made it over that part of the mountain, and then you went further with
Once
Alex.
we got to the top, me and Alex were like, well, there's this other red valley that I've heard, like, I saw some pictures about, and there were a few tours, like, you could do an extra hour and go over there, or they hike you up a different way.
Something like that.
And I just remember we could see a little bit of it, and Alex and I were like, you want to go? Like, let's just do it. So we went, and you should just go watch the video, because so beautiful.
So beautiful. But then I remember even going back. When we got back, I was so nauseous. I couldn't eat. There was, like, food included in our tour at the end. Oh, my God. I remember I took, like, one spoonful to my mouth and, like, spit it out, and Alex was like, eat it.
Okay, yeah, because after that, like, you never realize how much nutrients matters.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Until you do something that taxing. I was ravenous. I ate everything that I possibly could get my hands on.
I mean, the rest of the trip, I think, same.
Yeah, and then that night, did we go out that night?
Oh, my God, yeah, but
we did.
I think I went with sweatpants on because
I felt terrible.
It was someone's birthday.
There's nothing worse than you feeling shitty and you're not home. You're not in a familiar place. You don't have the things you normally could, like, grab at home that you would need and make you feel comforted. And then to make it even worse, I was on, like, a high after that. I was like, that was the coolest thing we've ever done. Like, blah, blah. And Alyssa's like, I don't feel good. Shut up. And I was like, this is amazing. No, she didn't say shut up. She would never.
I would never, but
I was, like, living for it, and I couldn't stop talking about it, and I think Liz was just like, okay, I need to breathe.
No, I think I remember I was even so nauseous on the, 2-hour ride home on the bus.
The ride home was rough.
And then once we got out, I was like, thank God. I, like, wanted to kiss the floor in the freaking city.
Oh, God, I miss Cusco. Actually, and a girl that went to Kevin's school was just there.
Really?
And, yeah, she was asking me a little bit about it. She got really bad altitude sickness.
Yeah.
But when she was there and put pictures up, see, the thing is I don't really want to go back to countries I've been to because I want to experience new things. But a part of me wants to go back so much and just see more because we only scratch the surface.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, Cusco.
What did you think of Machu Picchu?
All right.
I mean, the Sun Gate Trail.
Okay, Sun Gate. So let me level set. We went to Machu Picchu and we got ripped apart by people who actually hiked. We were called shoebies, right?
Oh my God, yeah. Well, that was the people who did the 3-day. What is it, the Inca Trail?
Yeah, where you hike up and you camp out. And, like, our friend Lenny did that and his friends. And I applaud you. And I wanted to do that too. But we were 2 girls alone. And this was at a point in a time, and, like, that was 2018. Something was happening when people would go hiking. Like, not in Peru, but our parents were still like, just please don't go hike alone, you 2 girls. Like, let's not.
Yeah.
So we didn't do it, and we love hiking, and I think we could have.
Oh.
I think that's maybe one thing that took away from it a little bit was that we didn't get the full experience. We took, like, a bus up, which was amazing.
Yeah.
But it felt way more touristy. Like, you got in line to get on the bus, and then when you were there, you got in line to get inside. I thought Machu Picchu was spiritual.
I loved it. I loved it once everyone left and our tour guide made us stay.
Yes.
That's when I cried.
Yeah, that was amazing because you really are with a bunch of other tourists, and having traveled a little bit, when you go to popular places, like, you expect that, but I always have a better time when you go to a place that's, like, a little bit untouched and you kind of take it in for what it is versus just seeing people all over with cameras, which is funny because I always have a camera in my hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it's cool to, like, just to be present too. Like, when we were there, I think we definitely had moments of that, although everyone was taking pictures on that trip.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And you have to when you go that far to see something that great. But I do think it's just a different vibe. Like, I can imagine being in Machu Picchu, and if there weren't, like, tour groups flooding in and out, it would probably be it still was one of the most stunning things I've ever
Yeah.
seen. And just the way that that's all built up there.
And do you remember right before Machu Picchu, we stopped in Ollantaytambo? I can't pronounce it.
Okay.
That was cool.
That place, I would love to go and spend like an actual like 4 days in.
That
and
was
hike around there.
Oh my God.
We did one little hike over there.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Yeah, that trip was it was another really great, and it felt really nice not having to plan anything, even though Thailand, we didn't really plan anything either.
We kind of like last minute threw it together.
Yeah. So this was just really nice to like let someone else take care of it.
One more thing I wanted to touch on with Peru, the train ride into Machu Picchu.
You just read my mind.
I think was one of the coolest things I've ever done ever.
Yeah.
Ever even like seen.
Do you remember the freaking hotel that was in the cliffs and people would have to rock climb to it?
Yeah, it was like the metal air stream, it looked like.
I wouldn't have noticed it if you didn't mention it when we were on the train.
One day.
And it's like you go from rainforests to like, it was just all the terrain changed as you kept going on this train. It was so cool.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, moral of the story, go to Peru.
Go to Peru.
Go to Peru.
And we ate guinea pig.
Oh yeah. And llama?
Yes. Alpaca steak.
Alpacas are different, right?
I don't know. Yeah, they're different.
But did we have a llama too? I remember we went to this very fancy restaurant, and the name of it is going to be in the vlog. I forget what it is.
Mm-hmm. Shrimp, alpaca, and something. And it came out on like a sizzling rock,
it was
basically.
Beautiful. I'm all about presentation of
food.
food.
My God. And then I'm all about condiments, and there was all the condiments on the side.
There's everything for it.
No, that was amazing. The food was really good.
Yeah, food was incredible. I said this in the last podcast. I'll probably say it in everyone that we're talking about traveling. Food is like the biggest thing for me while traveling, I think.
Oh, for sure. That's how that's
like you get
who
to know
they
their
are.
culture.
You know what I mean?
There's just so much history in cuisine.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't know. We all know I love to eat. So
yes.
Then after Peru, the next year, this one threw me for a sec
2019.
because Liz was just like, once again,
hey,
we kind of like fall in and out. Like we get really busy, but we always keep in touch.
Yes.
But then there's always that text like, hey, I really want to travel again. You want to go to Morocco? And I was like, wow. I was thinking of Tokyo. Like Japan's always been on my mind, all this stuff. And I was like, I never thought of Morocco. And I've never really thought about it before, but yes.
That's why I love you.
I was just like, yes, let's do it. And that ended up being one of the most eye-opening trips too. First time ever, we've both been to Africa.
Yes.
On the continent of Africa.
I was going to say, even though it's north and someone said online that
they're like,
you're not in Africa. I was like, actually, if
it's
you get a
continent.
map.
Yeah, if you get a map.
We technically are, but I understand it's like not like the rest of the country, which is fair. The rest of the continent, excuse me.
Yeah.
But yeah, growing up, I have a cousin who was born and raised over there. And although we're not close anymore, like she would come to visit sometimes. And I was just so intrigued. And I remember asking her a bunch of really stupid questions that you would ask as a kid, asking your older cousin, like, do you know about this? And she's like, yes, I do. Like she had like Beyonce albums, and I was really confused that for some reason. So stupid. But
I love
oh my gosh, for some reason I always was obsessed with Egypt and then Morocco because of my cousin, because I'm just like a history nerd with that stuff. So I just always thought that like northern part, I was like, I know I'm gonna go there one day.
Yeah.
So, and then my other uncle, who's not associated with this cousin, he lived there for a while.
Your family is way cooler.
They're
than
wacky.
mine.
They're
no,
wacky
that
in
is
a good
amazing.
way.
Yeah.
No, it made me pretty well rounded, I think.
I was just talking about that. Sorry, tangent, but this is kind of par for the course with this podcast. I was just talking about that with my mom about how like some people, we talk about this too. Some people live in the same spot that their family has lived for like decades, and they never leave. And they just stay right there, and that's just it, and it blows my mind.
Yeah, it's like I love home, and I love coming back to home. I love this area, but my family made me so curious about everything else that's out there, basically.
I really want to live somewhere else for a little bit.
I could see that.
But
yeah,
I've said that for a couple of years now, and I was like, I'm going to move to LA for you, and it hasn't happened. Anyways, back to Morocco.
Oh, no. So that was it. So again, went on the timeshare, found a...
Looking back, though, I think we would have done this differently.
Oh, I 1,000% would have. I thought I did a lot more research this time, believe it or not, even though...
No, you did.
The way things panned out. So I did a lot of research. So we booked the timeshare for Marrakesh for a week. But I also wanted to see, like, I was comparing the different cities. I was looking up a lot of, like, YouTube videos and blogs and everything on what cities were worth the time to visit and we were very interested in doing the Sahara Desert, which we didn't make it to because...
We will be back.
We will be back because I didn't realize... They made it sound like it was so close to Marrakesh, so I was like, oh, we'll do like a day excursion or something and go to the desert. No, it turned out it takes a full 10-hour bus ride and then a camel ride. It's like a full day of travel to
and
get...
then,
then
you want to be there for at least like a day or two.
Exactly, and then they spend like a night there, and then you spend a whole day traveling back to Marrakesh, which we didn't have that time. It's like, why did we get the hotel in the first place if we weren't going to be there?
I think the only thing that I was referring to and changing differently would be like staying in Marrakesh.
I kind of told, well, okay, yes, that
like
is my
in
fault.
A Riyadh.
But I told you a Riyadh would be cool, and I think you were scared about the
I
car and the Riyadh.
was absolutely nervous because this is the other thing. We just kind of went, and we didn't know how far the hotel was from the city. Like, we saw it on a map, but until you're in a country...
It's so true. Like,
it doesn't process. Like, we didn't know we'd be driving down a dirt road to get to our hotel. Like, it looked like it was a highway.
It did.
So it was a lot.
It's a learning process, and I mean, that's
the best.
Life.
Like, that's why we have stories, and that's why the vlogs were hilarious, and also we got ripped apart because
very dramatic.
we got ripped off. A lot of people in our area were like, "You're going where?"
Yeah,
like,
and it's funny because I had now at FIT, I had so many classmates that studied abroad like last year, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we went to Morocco. Like we stopped there along the way," and I was like, okay, cool.
Let me just squash anything. It was one of the... I felt safe. I had one of the best times there.
I loved it.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Regardless of... Yeah, maybe we didn't do it quote-unquote right. I think we had a great experience overall.
I wouldn't change it. I just would love to go back and see more.
See the rest of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And stay in a Riyadh.
Yeah.
And walk around Marrakesh.
Yeah, so we
Cabs, man.
We did Tangier.
Cabs. In Tangier, when we took the train to Casablanca...
You were, okay, that was the part I was like, Lane, calm down.
No, see, like, this was the part where I was like, no, this is not okay.
Okay, so we had our first, I forgot, we had a layover in Casablanca.
The minute we got off the plane there, we headed straight to the train.
Yeah.
Me being paranoid, I was like, oh my God, that guy's staring at us. Like, he's sizing us up. He has a nice watch on, and he's on his phone, and he's speaking, and I was just like, oh my God, we're going to get kidnapped
I remember the guys were trying to, like, talk to us, and I was like, they're just being friendly and, like, messing around, and Lane was kind of like...
I was like, I'm not being that welcoming. I'm not being that open.
Standoffish, but it's okay.
Don't worry. I normally am not like that when I travel.
It was defense mechanism. Yeah.
It was the first hour we were there. I was trying to, like, kind of size up the vibes of the country. As soon as granted, we did get ripped off by a taxi driver in Casablanca, but he was also very nice and took us around.
Yeah, I guess, no, he was really cool, though. We knew that Casablanca, I'd been told from family and everything else that besides the mosque, not that there's not much else to see, but that was, like, the main attraction. And
see the Blue Mosque.
We shouldn't
Which I am so happy we did.
My God, it was, like, another jaw-dropping, just, like, what? That thing is ginormous and beautiful, and the architecture.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we did that, and even though... Against our better judgment, maybe, but no, that was beautiful.
No, it was great judgment. I think I was just nervous.
Yeah.
And I try not to be that way, but we didn't have a seat either because the train was so full. So we were in between cars.
We were in between cars. Like, I remember I was actually, like, the steps down that, like, right where the doors open, that's where I was standing, like, with our bags.
I remember being exhausted. To the point where I think that made my mentality a little bit, hangry Lena and really tired Lena. She's not the best person to be around.
No, it's fine. And then we did, so Casablanca, Tangier, and then we were in...
Chefchaouen.
Yeah, oh my God, the Blue City. How did I forget that?
City. I don't know if it's Chefchaouen. Chefchaouen's how you pronounce it,
It's been a while.
It has been a while. When I said it, I was like, did I just mess that up?
Chefchaouen,
Chefchaouen. I hold that city so dear to my heart.
Oh my God.
What were we there, 3 days?
Yeah,
like we got there, had a full
3
day.
days, yeah. Oh my God. So it was just...
It was magical. If there's one place that you want to visit in 2020, I almost said 19, you have to go to Chefchaouen.
Yeah.
Just please.
It's just like you'll never experience anything like that city, I think. It's just like every turn you take is prettier than the next, and...
No two streets are alike. You won't see the same thing twice.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll see the same little souvenirs everywhere, but
yeah.
You get lost in this maze and like labyrinth of a blue city, and it's just nestled in between mountains. I don't know. And you have to go. You watch the vlogs, but they don't even do it justice. The feeling that you get when you're there is
And it was cozy. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It
Exactly.
was like, it wasn't so large of a Medina that it was like, oh, this is really overwhelming. It's like by the second day, we knew
how to get to our favorite crepe spot, how to like go to this lookout, and
we had a cute Airbnb, even though the room was the size of
a closet,
walk-in closet.
But that's all we needed.
That's all we needed.
And honestly, it's one of the best stories. That was the first time I've ever been in a shared Airbnb.
Me too, actually. I didn't know it was going to be like that, but it made sense. It was, what, $17 a day or something like that?
Yeah, $17 a night, and it was beautiful. You had a rooftop. You had everything you needed. You had a lock on your door. You guys have seen the vlogs.
Yeah, we had the shower, bathroom upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah, I had a horror story there.
Yes.
So it's still one of my favorite places I've ever been to. But absolute horror story one of the nights.
I remember I was trying so hard to find an affordable because we had splurged a little bit on the Marrakesh arrangements. And then Tangier was reasonable, a little bit pricey. I think we got hit with like tax or something. I thought I had paid it ahead of time with Booking.com, but...
Where did we stay in Tangier?
The Fredge, I can't pronounce it. It was like Fredge.
Oh, that was fancy AF though.
Yeah, well, I booked it for the gym, and then the gym was open for like
2 hours a day.
Yeah, it was like every time we tried using the gym, it wasn't available or open, so...
We just wanted one gym, one workout, and it didn't happen, but it's all good. But, that was beautiful. I remember that now.
Yeah. And that was nice because that had a cute little balcony. It didn't view anything, but it was just beautiful. Like nice to like step outside and...
See, and I forget these little things. That is why I record everything.
I know, and I'm so happy you do.
We randomly would text each other like, hey, I'm rewatching the Peru vlogs. Hey, I'm rewatching Morocco.
Like anytime, I'll just randomly text her and be like, oh my God. Yeah. And just like reminiscing.
But I'm happy you found that shared Airbnb in Chefchaouen because it added to it. Like we were staying in someone's home. Yeah. The grandma was there with the son.
Yeah. They like they greeted us with tea when we first got there. They just
Moroccan whiskey.
Yeah. It was really nice. And the best part was I had been looking for that city. I don't know if they're known for the rooftops, but it's like a lot of the homes have beautiful rooftops that they'll just hang out on at night. Miss it. So we had a cute little rooftop that we had access to. We had access to the whole part of the house, so it was great.
That will forever be the best and the worst travel little experience because we go out for dinner one night, and I think it was after we did the hike, right? Yeah. We like hiked up, beautiful. You watch the sunset over the mountains, and there really is nothing like Chefchaouen. So we go back and we're really hungry. We go to get dinner at this cute little, like tucked away place, and
it was popular.
It was amazing. It was popular, and the food was amazing. For some reason, I ordered shrimp, and so my doctor said this isn't why it happened. This isn't like what caused it, but just don't order shrimp in the mountains, people. I will say that till I die now. If you don't see water, don't order fish. So we go home. I think we literally fell asleep like fairly quickly. Yeah. We were just exhausted from the day because we got up early and walked around that whole day.
Yeah, we just walked all day.
And I wake up at, I don't remember what time. I think it was like 1 a.m. We went to sleep at 11, woke up a few hours later, and I just remember this like heat on my back. And I was like, oh, maybe like I had a blanket on. I don't know. And I just remember like I go to put my hand up my shirt and I just feel it. I was like, oh, I got a bug bite. And then I start feeling it because, like, my bug bites blow up. So I was like, oh, it's big, whatever. They always are. And then I start feeling it, and I'm like, no. It is on my entire back. And then I get a little panic. So I take my phone, start taking pictures. The service was terrible where we were.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot.
So I was trying to send pictures to my mom because I just text Kevin and my mom. I was like, holy shit. I just woke up in the middle of the night and I have hives everywhere, like everywhere. Then I'm Googling things. Never a good idea. They say that if hives like encompass your whole body, like it's serious, like you need to get to a hospital, all this stuff. So I run upstairs to our little shared bathroom. And it's frigid on, like, the tiles at night. It gets cold there at night. So I'm, like, freezing. But I'm, like, taking all my clothes off, looking at my back. And I'm just like, what are you going to do? You are in the tiniest town. It's literally a maze. I don't know. They say to be careful at night there. And obviously you never really want to go anywhere, like, alone as a female at 1 a.m. at night. I just, like, it is kind of the way it is. Or a guy. Like, you have a chance of getting jumped. It's just how it goes. And I just remember being like, I'm not going to a hospital, so I might die in this little shared Airbnb closet. No. And I just remember being like, you know what? I wake Liz up. I'm freaking out. And at this point, I was a little, like, upset because I didn't pack Benadryl like a dumbass.
I felt so bad because there was nothing I could do at all to help you.
And then I was freaking out because there was nothing to do. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going back to bed.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm dealing with this in the morning. We can't do anything till the sun comes up.
I was like,
we're not comfortable.
I think we were looking it up. It was like the closest urgent care was here, hospital was here, and then none of the stores, I don't even think we were able to like look up. Everything was like a small little...
It was like a little pharmacy.
It was like a little boutique looking thing though, like in the Medinas, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like nothing was actually a hospital.
Yeah.
So I don't know where those people go, but God bless, because that is scary. So I just remember going back to sleep, and I woke up and it was gone, but it had migrated to my face.
Yeah, so it had like subdued in some areas.
Yeah, like my back
others.
was gone. Or it was less.
It was way less raised, I remember.
Oh my God, that... I still sometimes look back at those pictures, I'm just like, and you want to know the worst part? I keep getting hives now. Like when I just had the flu, I got hives on my eyebrow. Like the virus never left my body, and the doctors are like, you probably will always have remnants.
Well, we can talk about Marrakesh when I got sick after.
Wait, Marrakesh?
Well, I had like an ongoing, like from the gin and tonic, the one drink that we decided to have at that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was the ice or something. My stomach was not the same for a full month after that trip.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was bad because I got it the night we went to that
Oh my God, no, now I'm remembering because it was a long time when we were home. And you were going like to doctors.
Like I went to Hawaii and my stomach was still messed up. That was over a month later.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it for anything.
I
don't know why. Like.
Oh, I'm fine.
I feel like our immune systems are better off for it, but it was also like every time I got hives the other night and I was just like, nothing's as bad as Morocco.
And do you remember, I think Thailand, it was like, oh, you have to get all these shots. I remember Victoria spent like $700 on shots.
Oh my God.
When she was supposed to, and I decided to go for some reason a week before the trip, and I was like, hey, I need shots. And the lady looked at me and laughed. She's like, you should have had those shots 3 weeks ago. She's like, if you get the shots right now, they won't kick in until after you get home from Thailand. And I was like, okay, great. So I'm going to save my money and I'm going to go on my way.
But I do think you should get shots.
Like, I do. I'm just saying, like, you know?
Yeah. When listed that, I was like, you what?
Let's wing it.
Well, I will say, okay, the other thing that the doctor said it could be are the malaria pills. Oh. And that could be why I'm having a bad reaction because none of them are like truly FDA approved. I might be talking out of my ass, but this is what my doctor told me. And some of them, like, you know how they give you those like crazy nightmares? They can have like other effects on people. And since you know my skin's so like whatever, it's so sensitive. Yeah, something with the hives or what, I don't know. Yeah, I still don't know what it is. No doctor knew. I went to a few, and whatever. Now I just break out in hives sometimes.
Wait, so you want to touch on Marrakesh now?
Yes.
Where should we even start? How about getting to the hotel when we came late and they didn't think we were coming at all? As I was booking this trip ahead of time, I noticed that I was like, you know, if we stop in this city, like we're going to miss a couple of days in Marrakesh, so we're just going to get there late, but we're going to go.
Yeah.
So my mom and I took the phone numbers, the fax numbers, like the emails, everything that was available for our resort in Marrakesh and tried to contact these people. No matter what we did, we even called the timeshare and asked them to reach out to them. And they're like, oh, we reached out to them, no problem. Like, we'll tell them you're coming a day or two late. Guess what? We got there at what time? Was it? It was late.
It had to be like 1 a.m. I think we landed around like midnight. So we get there and the cab driver even is like, are you sure like you're staying here? It's all dark. They look closed. Yeah. He comes inside with us. He's banging on a door.
And there was a guy.
There was a drunk guy.
He must have been drunk.
Passed out
on the couch. He didn't speak very much English, so we were having trouble communicating, but we got a room eventually, and I think a woman came down who was like the head of it. Mm-hmm. But she told me, she was like, we thought you guys canceled, we thought you weren't coming, so we just like gave your room away. And I was like,
we're here.
I was like, I'm pretty sure your phone number, your fax, and your email is not working because I have tried all of those.
I was like, okay, there's no security. Mm-hmm. We're gonna be sleeping here, and all of me thinking like I have equipment and stuff. Mm-hmm. No one's here. I know. I was like, this is so not safe. And then I was like, I just want a bed. So
I know. And then I remember you were a little nervous to rent a car. So we ended up like spending a little bit more on taxis. And that was a whole other thing.
And we could have rented a car, but also parking in Marrakesh is terrible. So our advice, if you're going to Marrakesh, stay in the city.
Right, in the city. And you can walk places. Yeah.
But if you want to go from like city to city, you can rent a car. it is safe. We had girls that all did it. Like, we met girls there that were 3 girls.
Yeah, they were
and they
from
drove
Europe.
around everywhere. I will say I was still a little bit nervous. I don't know, renting cars in foreign countries, I've heard horror stories about people planting things and then trying to arrest you, and I didn't want to do that. But in change, we got ripped off by some taxi drivers.
It's okay. And it
what are you gonna
became viral in
Oh my
Morocco.
God. Yeah. So that was crazy. And I still get comments that are like, you guys should have known that your hotel was farther and that's what you were going to pay. And then there are people like, that taxi driver was insane to charge you that. Well, actually, okay, let me set this straight. In the video, I thought it was all about just us getting ripped off. People are actually so up in arms because he was being so derogatory towards the other taxi drivers.
No, I know.
And that's kind of what, and of course, my dumb ass, I had no idea what
We
they were
were willing
saying.
to pay. That wasn't it. It was
Yes.
just we wanted to make sure because my family had told me, other people who had been there had told me, they're like, whatever price they give you, it should probably be at least half of that.
Yeah.
So we just we wanted to negotiate, and it was nothing like, oh, we're being like spoiled. So
But
you
it
live
all
and you
worked out.
learn.
You live and
It's
you learn.
fine. We spent a little bit. What was it? And it wasn't even.
It wasn't
U.S.
that much
dollar.
money.
It wasn't a lot.
It wasn't. It was more of just the principle. It's like
Yeah.
they see you're not from Morocco. They're like, hey, I can mark this up. Mm-hmm. But I guess that's also the name of the game that kind of goes with traveling to foreign countries.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But overall, we had a really good experience, and we met those girls when we were on our little like hiking excursion.
Oh yeah.
That was
That's
cool.
another thing. People are like, I can't believe you hiked there because.
Oh my God, no.
Well, yeah.
No,
I
it
don't
was
want,
great.
I don't want to talk about any of the negatives. There weren't negatives, but there were things that had happened there, and people were like, just be careful. I can't believe you're going. But I'm always, and I just said this the other day to my dad, it is never as dangerous as the media says, or the media portrays it. It is dangerous. There are dangerous places. There are places you shouldn't go alone. There's always going to be a place that is like a bad area. And you may not know where they are, being that this is your first time there. But I have to say, we met some of the kindest people. We were treated so well. I mean, yes, there were people that screamed things at us or like tried to be all like gross. That happens in New York.
It happens every day in New York.
It happens around here. So just don't let the media scare you out of going and seeing what you want to see and experiencing life. So
1,000%.
also be smart though. So, you know, both sides of the coin.
Yeah, just be street smart.
So I did this thing in Shane's podcast where in the first episode.
Cool.
Where I literally just asked random questions.
Okay.
Just to break it up because we're all over the place as promised. Okay, so your favorite Ben & Jerry's flavor?
Ooh, the Tonight Dough. Other than that Chunky Monkey, but Tonight Dough.
Shane's, I love Chunky Monkey. Oh, we've had this conversation.
It's a half and half.
Okay.
I'm split.
Fair enough. I mean, hey, it's your favorite flavor. I can't dictate
Oh, I'm excited
that.
for these questions now. I didn't know where you're going to go with this.
Your favorite fast food?
I don't have it often, Taco Bell. I think I had it
Oh.
for the first time like a month ago after my finals were done. I was like, I deserve this.
Yeah.
And it was right next to school.
Sweet or salty?
Salty.
Winter, summer?
Ooh, that's winter. I feel like it was like I was born in the winter. I'm obsessed with snowboarding. I've been snowboarding since I was 6, and I have like a soft spot for like snow. The cold doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Would you rather drive somewhere or fly somewhere?
Probably fly. I like road trips, but I'd prefer
We've
just
been
to
on a few
get
road
there.
trips, yeah.
Just get there.
New York City or LA?
New York.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Dogs, cats?
Dogs.
Vacation versus travel?
Travel. I can't relax for too long.
Would you say you're an introvert or an extrovert?
Somewhere in the middle. Creative-wise, night, but like productive in my actual life, morning. I don't mind waking
Amen.
up early.
Pancakes or waffles?
That's hard. Waffles, but they're both amazing.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Would you rather read a book or watch a movie?
I've always been I haven't read in so long. I used to be a reader.
Almond milk or coconut milk?
Coconut.
Such a dumb question. I don't know why I wrote that one down.
No, I love that.
Apples or oranges?
Apple.
Play sports or watch sports?
Play.
Leather or lace?
Leather.
Snapchat or Instagram?
Instagram.
Pasta or pizza?
Pasta.
Breakfast or dinner?
Breakfast for every meal.
Dude, we should make breakfast for dinner right now. I'm
Every
starting to
meal.
get hungry. But that's a little rapid fire to switch up the long
like that.
form of us discussion and of us discussing things. And then next, I really, really have always said this to Liz, and it's funny because my mom went to FIT, but I wanted to know how you love FIT, what you think about being a student at FIT, and if you don't know, it's Fashion Institute of Technology in Manhattan.
Yes.
And yeah, I just want to hear a little bit more about it because I always regret me not being decisive enough to get my portfolio together.
You would thrive there. You don't even understand. And don't take it as a regret because your school is absolutely amazing too. And it was one of those weird things. So, like, my mom grew up in the Bronx, and she's not actually creative. I think she has a creative mind, but pen to paper. Oh,
God, your mom's an angel. Wait, I have to pause this conversation. I miss your parents so much.
Oh, my God, no,
your mom is literally my second mom.
No, they're awesome.
They're so great.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
My grandfather always drew. I had uncles that were amazing at drawing. My Nana, she wasn't a fashion designer. She was staying home taking care of a million kids. But she showed me how to draw, like, the S curve, which is, like, a basic way to draw, like, a fashion figure. And she knew how to make clothes and design and everything. And she designed, it was, like, the way I got the story was she designed one of her old teachers' daughter's wedding dresses. Like, they had all the students, like, design something, and hers was picked. So I think I always kind of, like, had it in the back of my mind. And then in middle school, I learned how to sew. And I would just, like, would always take art classes, and I was really into it. And I don't know, whatever. So over the years, I think I figured out, like, freshman year of high school, I took a fashion design class at my school. And it was, like, the most basic, like, didn't even relate to what I ended up doing at FIT. But it just, like, sparked my interest so much. And I was like, wow, I really want to do this.
And by the way, we met in high school. So I never put that, should have probably started with that.
It's okay.
But we met in high school, and I remember we both were always obsessed with clothes and fashion and putting together outfits. And, like, I genuinely, I don't know, I remember that, like, when I first met you, I was like, wow, that girl, I love her style.
Thank you.
And yeah. So
it's evolved
and
over
I'm jealous
the years.
because my high school didn't have fashion design.
So what happened was when college was coming around and we had to figure out where we were going, I was so set on playing soccer. So that was the only thing on my mind. So the only school that I knew of in this area that had Division III soccer and a fashion design program was Oneonta, New York. So,
which, if you don't know, is in the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere, upstate New York, like 3 hours away from us. And I ended up loving it. I was there for 3 years, played soccer for 2, and
I never visited you, and I regret that.
It's okay. We'll go for, like, a day trip one day. It's beautiful up there. I still love it. But I think around my junior year, before Thanksgiving, I was having, like, a crisis, and I was like, I haven't interned yet. I don't know what I'm doing. How am I going to find a fashion job after school here? So I started panicking, and I remember I had visited, the only 2 schools I ever visited were FIT as a senior in high school and Oneonta. And as soon as I went to Oneonta, the campus was beautiful. I loved everything about it. And I was like, I'm going there. So I literally only applied to Oneonta because I didn't have a portfolio ready for FIT. And I was like, I'm only going here. I only applied to Oneonta, and my mom freaked out. She was like, what if you don't get in? I'm like, relax, lady. I'm going to get in. Like, relax. And, like, I don't know why I said that because my grades were average. Like, they were good, but they were nothing spectacular.
But you had soccer.
Yeah.
Liz is a great soccer player.
So I went as a walk-on for Oneonta. I had been in touch with the coach, but they never got to see me play. So the coach ended up calling me before I got my acceptance letter for Oneonta, and she's like, congrats, you got in. And she didn't know I didn't get my letter yet. And I was like, wait, I did? And she was like, oh, crap.
That's amazing.
And I was so relieved.
I never heard this story. That's great.
Yeah, so then I got my letter probably a week or 2 later. So I guess, I mean, of course, like, being an athlete, you get a little bit of help. But I had good grades. I had okay SAT scores, and I wrote a good essay. So I think that had a lot to do with it,
amazing.
Too. But I enjoyed my time there. But I remember Thanksgiving break, I'd mentioned to my mom, like, I think I want to apply to FIT. And she's like, what? Oneonta has a 3-in-1 program where you do 3 years at Oneonta, 1 at FIT. But you need to take specific classes.
Yeah, you need to be, like, on that path.
On track. Yeah, and I was not, because I was like, I'm going to stay here forever and play soccer. But that was not how it went. Yeah. So I applied to FIT. I got in, I think, waitlisted, actually, for the associates program. And I don't know why. I think I applied to associates because I knew the acceptance rate is very low for FIT. Mm-hmm. Like, it was very low at the time. And I think I got accepted to the 1-year associates design program for women's wear there was like 30, 35 of us tops in the program.
FIT is very, very competitive. Oh, God,
Yeah.
this battery's going to die.
No, so I got accepted there after being waitlisted. And the same thing, like you said, my mom growing up was like, Alyssa, like FIT, like growing up, people would just be like, oh, anyone that goes there like has a lot going for them. They're creative, like they're talented. So around Thanksgiving break, I had the idea of applying. And then by Christmas, I remember I sat in my room in my apartment at Oneonta, didn't leave my room for about 2 weeks. And I just had my head down and I was sketching, like making my portfolio. I applied and then I ended up getting in to FIT on waitlist. So that was a crazy decision and journey, and I remember crying my eyes out because I was leaving all of my friends, and it was about to be my senior year, and I was going to graduate at Oneonta.
Senior year is like when everyone, like, I don't know, there's a different feeling to it because you've all been together.
Yeah, exactly, and I was really close with all the girls that were my teammates on my team, and I lived in the house with them, so it was I was torn, but it was...
I think you made the right decision.
I think I did too. So now it's 3-4 years later, and I'm not done yet because I had to do college all over again because they accepted a lot of my gen ed credits, but not like FIT is so specific, and you have to
like
go.
You're taking our course.
Yeah, you're taking draping classes and all these like flat pattern and learning how to make clothes from scratch and sewing and everything and art. So I mean, it was worth it in the end, but it was very difficult, and I did not sleep a lot.
You still don't sleep a lot.
I still don't sleep a lot.
Well, literally, like, well, I guess I just saw it in your latest video, but she takes you through what it's like being an FIT student, and I get jealous every time I see it because I was like, what if I did that? Mm-hmm. But I just love seeing it. I love seeing the process. I love seeing just the way the school is set up. It's for creative minds because it is so, I mean, yes, you still have your like gen ed classes and stuff, but just the workshops you guys have, I'd kill to just be there.
They're cool. Like, I think we take it for granted being there also because we know, like, FIT gets compared to Parsons all the time. Mm-hmm. And Parsons is, like, I don't know, it's like 60 or 70 grand. And it's, like, all the most, like, pristine, like, beautiful equipment.
But FIT is, like, an institution.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tried and true, and it is there to last.
Oh, no, totally. But it's just funny because, like, we'll go in the classrooms and we're like, these sewing machines and forms, like, they're falling apart. But it's like, it still works. Like, you don't need to change
touche,
it.
because I've never seen Parsons, but I know that feeling of being like, all right.
We always joke around about it because they just redid the front of FIT and it looks beautiful. It's all glass windows, this big display. It's been bittersweet, but overall, like, I can't say I regret it because I've just learned so much and you can't take skill or knowledge away, so.
Also, good. I remember in your sophomore year, I think, it was the year I graduated from Fordham, and I just missed school, and I still miss school. I know someone that's in it right now, you're probably like, you're crazy.
I wish I had a better like mental state while I was there. I'm getting better now, but I've also had less classes as I'm like in senior year. Mm-hmm. But the city I would associate it with stress.
Well, it is stressful, even just like walking on the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. And you have to carry all of your stuff.
Yeah, I've gotten better with that as the years have gone on. But during associates, I remember, oh my God, I would have a backpack filled with school supplies. I would have another huge like Lululemon bag filled with my fabrics and
miscellaneous.
Yeah, sewing things.
And then like a portfolio.
Yeah, it's just like different classes, different days. You had things to carry, but it was a lot. And I would walk majority of the time, rain, snow, sleet.
Yeah, I remember those Snapchats and I was like, Alyssa, oh my God.
My back felt broken.
Yeah, seriously.
So it was a lot, but I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm just so happy.
And you've learned so much.
Yeah, but I'm very over it because I'm at that weird place where I'm like older. All my friends have graduated years ago now, and I'm like,
you've been in school for a long time.
I'm very ready to be done, but
I can see that. That's how Kev feels with grad school.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I want to talk about, and if you guys have any questions or like you want to know more about something we talked about, I will have Alyssa back on in a heartbeat, and I'm sure she'll come back on in a heartbeat. Yeah. But just, I guess if you're watching on YouTube, you can let us know in the comments, and if you're listening on Spotify or somewhere else, you have our Instagram and everything. But lastly, I really want to talk about YouTube a little bit more.
Yeah.
And your favorite YouTubers.
Ooh, okay. I love Maggie McDonald. I watch her religiously.
You showed me her, yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know how I came across her channel. I'm trying to think everyone else.
It's hard when you get put on the spot.
Yeah, Flying the Nest for travel. Mm-hmm. They're the cutest Australian couple, and they're pregnant now.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone's pregnant now.
Everyone's pregnant.
Why is everyone pregnant now?
No, they're really cool, and they just have been traveling constantly, and they're informative too, which is really nice when they travel, which is
something that I can't grasp.
Oh, get out.
No, I'm not kidding. It's an art to it. There's an art to being like, let me show you what we're doing, but also be very informative.
And I could be wrong. I feel like they're foodies, and they like explain like what these dishes are.
I'm already so hungry. We've been doing this for like an hour, and I haven't eaten since 12.
Same. We'll get food after this. I'm trying to think. Those are the two that are sticking out in my mind right now. There's been some that have like come and gone, but those are the two big ones. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
How about you?
This is making me weird. I watch Emma Chamberlain like every time she puts out a
funny.
video. I don't know why. I love you never know what you're gonna get. Mm-hmm. See, for me, and like maybe you can tell through my channel, like you said, you flying the nest, like you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get like an informative travel video with like tips, tricks, and like suggestions and food. But for me, I love when I don't know what this person's gonna put out. I just know this person and their likeness, and I kind of like connect to them, and I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I started watching Maggie McDonald a little because of you. But there's something, I think it's also like, she just has her shit together, and I'm a mess, and I'm just like, no, I don't know, I can't relate. Like,
oh my God, that's so funny. And for me, it's like something to strive towards.
Oh,
it's like,
for sure.
There's so many times I'm like, I have it together, and then I look at her, and I'm like, and there's stupid to compare.
Oh, yeah, you can't compare, but.
I'm like, but okay. No, I just love her energy and like positive, healthy,
and
everything.
She's very like, she's not showy, like she's not fake. I don't know how to put it.
No, yeah, she's
some
real.
people really turn it on for the camera, and some people you can tell they're just like, hey, like, hi, this is me.
And it's that friend factor. Like you feel like you could just like hang out with the person. So I like the lifestyle vloggers. Oh, Julia Havens and Hunter Havens. How did I forget?
I don't know who that is.
They're cute. They're a couple down in Texas.
Oh, Chris Clemens. I die for him.
I haven't even.
Oh, you have.
Don't even know.
I think he just hit 1 million, and he's gonna keep growing like crazy.
Wow.
He's incredible. Oh my God. Just watch a few and let me know what you think.
Yeah.
And then Best Dressed, I love.
I have to look them up.
Best Dressed, you gotta go back to some of her old times. She would do like thrift flipping.
That's cool.
Where she'd like go thrift shopping and then alter it because she sews and everything, and alter it and tailor it to herself. And then she would like create these pieces out of like this god awful dress. She'd make this like perfect dress for her body, like perfect.
That's cool. That's sustainable too.
Yes. And now she gets into little other things. Like we were just talking about bullet journaling. She did that. Like she does she has a great personality too. I love that.
Hot ones. That's great.
Yes.
That's just a given.
I want wings now.
Oh, you know what I fall into that's kind of reminds me of hot ones? Do you ever watch Delish?
No.
It's like the food one, but there's this girl. Why am I blanking on her name right now? She is so funny. And it's her job. She goes to different amusement parks like Disneyland, and she tries all the best or most popular food there.
Oh.
But she's so sarcastic and funny.
That's the good.
Oh
that's
my
like
God.
the good part of it.
Like, yeah.
Because I was like eating at parks.
No, it sounds so silly, but
it's good.
No, her name's Tess.
Tess.
And she's just someone on the Delish like YouTube channel.
See, okay, this is upsetting to me because I got approached by Taste Made. And that's like another one of the food, whatever. They do food things. They saw some of my videos because obviously I'm always eating food in the videos. And they like reached out to me for 2 different things. And then it just kind of fell off.
Okay.
And I was just so devastated. And I was just like, okay. They was this guy, when we had a phone call, like an interview, and he was telling me about the projects he was going to pitch me for, like to the company he was going to pitch me. And it just went nowhere. And like, I actually might email him back and just see like, hey, do you have anything coming up? Like,
yeah. But I was gonna say, it doesn't mean other doors are gonna open. Maybe it wasn't right for you.
No, I just remember
right
being
for them.
like,
you know what I mean?
I was like, damn. But so
nothing personal.
No, it's not. But it's just like when opportunities like that pop up, because like if you're attached to a channel like that, if you're featured, it's just like it's a good step.
Yeah,
you can get in front of more people. But that just reminded me of the food thing.
I almost forgot about those, and that was those are good.
Yeah.
I don't know why, they're just entertaining.
Which? The Delish?
The Delish and like silly things like that. Hot ones.
I mean, okay, that's the other thing. My best videos are me eating food on camera, and I never would have thought that
mukbangs or whatever, bongs. I don't know.
Yeah, I never would have thought that is what would have been the biggest like hit on my channel.
And that would scare me, like just like nonstop eating on a camera.
I mean, I do that all the time.
Oh, no. Like, not even, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like people would be, like, micro watching, like...
Yeah, I'm
why
sure
are you
they
cutting
would.
like that?
I'm sure they would. Oh, yeah, there are people that are like, you should have mixed that more. And I'm like, okay, well, this video's 2 years old, so you're not changing anything now. But, I don't know. It's funny because YouTube, you don't get to pick what, like, pops off.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of just, it's at the algorithms, like... What's the word? What am I trying to say? I'm losing my mind because I'm so hungry now. The
certain factors that we
algorithm.
have no control over control what's
and
pushed and what's not.
It's crazy. So, on that note, I think we might have to go get some food.
I'm hungry too.
I am hungry. Like my stomach's growling. I wonder if the microphone picked it up.
Imagine.
Earlier. Thank you for coming on.
Oh my God, I'm so happy.
The podcast and your Instagram, your YouTube channel. Let them know.
Both just my name, Alyssa Poplaski, and yeah, so YouTube is new and scary, and I've kept it a secret this entire time, but it's been fun.
I like it.
You totally influenced me because I remember when you filmed Thailand, I was kind of like, I was like, what's she doing with that camera all the time?
Why she always taking the camera and talking?
No, but looking back, there are so many parts of that trip I would have long forgotten about if it wasn't for you filming it. So
my heart.
Literally, it's like mostly for the memories, but I've been doing a lot of stuff mostly just about FIT for now, and I'll branch into other things later, hopefully, if it continues going well.
Keep filming FIT.
I'm enjoying
I love watching it too.
It's fun, actually. But it's fun because I had a girl from like Indonesia reach out to me, and she was applying and like asking me questions. There's a bunch of people I've been just like...
Well, yeah, it's useful information to see what it's like because you're in the school that a lot of people want to go to.
Yeah, and it's funny because I didn't look up YouTubes about it when I was applying there, but it was really nice to hear some kid commented. He's like, I've seen plenty of like business students there say like their day in the lives of whatever, but there's not a lot of fashion students that do because it's so time consuming. But because my workload is less because I had some classes taken care of already, I found a little bit of time to make a video here and there. And this one kid was just like, oh, finally, like I've been looking for these videos and like no one put one for design because we're like so swamped all the time. So
I don't know how you do it, but I am happy you make time for it because I love watching it.
I took 2 months off and now I posted another one this week, but we'll see.
Well, you have some more break, so maybe you guys will see some new videos popping up. She's like, we'll see.
I'm dipping my toe in the water.
But if you guys are watching on YouTube,
it's scary.
Oh, yeah, it is. You're really putting yourself out there. And for the first time ever, I've been getting like not hate comments, but like nasty comments.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh shit, I haven't dealt with
That's
this
the
before.
scariest. But I mean, they
crazy.
say that.
Oh, through a keyboard.
We're asking for it because we're putting it out there, but it's like I'm not looking for that. It's like it's fun connecting on something that like you and another person may enjoy or get use or value
or like
out of.
Entertainment even.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's also part of it's just the documenting the memories. Like that is a huge part of why I started and why I continue to do it. And I just think it's funny, and my answer remains the same always. Whenever someone says something nasty or like remotely like, you should have done this, or like, oh my God, blah, 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 I'm just like, thanks for the view. Like, thanks for you didn't need to type that out and press hit, like send, but you did. It says way more about you than it does me, but I'm just like, hey, negative support is still support. So your comment added to my analytics, bitch. Thanks. But yeah, so I'm so grateful for everyone that does comment and is like genuinely so kind. There are way more good people than there are.
Oh,
like,
I'm sure. Bad. And it's so stupid. It's like I care more about like people from high school or people that at a job that might find out, but it's like at the end of the day, like it makes me happy. Yeah, and
okay, so and that's my biggest thing. I wish I started sooner, but I didn't because of whatever kind of went on in college and like high school. I never would have touched it. I don't even think it crossed my mind. Like in all honesty, But college, like I thought about it, so I started my blog, and I remember I was the same way. I was like, I'm not gonna tell anyone about this just yet. And then one day I was like, why? Yeah. Why would you not tell people? So I started posting on my Facebook, and then people from high school that like I met while like in your town partying. Yeah. I mean, no one did that in high school. Just kidding. But they'd be like, I love the way you write, or like I've been following your blog, like I love it, and I was like, what? Yeah. And it's just like there's so much good, and there's so much positivity, and I think yes, everyone will talk about like hate, but there is so much positivity, and if you focus on that, you really do feel like supported and uplifted, and
so it's just a fun creative
outlet.
I'm so excited
for you.
Once school's over, I'm gonna need something else.
I still don't have an outro for this thing. If you have any ideas for outros for what I can improve on, let me know, but be Be kind, okay?
Constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism is what I want.
Yeah.
I love you guys. I will see you next Monday. I can't speak. I need food. My brain is deteriorating.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. I could literally sit here and talk for forever.
I know.
I hope you guys found a little bit of entertainment or something in this because I'm having fun. So.
Me too.
All right. I love you guys. I'll see you next Monday. Bye. Oh, and let me know who else you want to have on the podcast. If you want to come on, let me know if you're in the area. You can come to the office and we can podcast. Is that a verb? Anyways, love you guys. Bye.
Ooh, oh, that was so good.
Isn't it fun?